Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Vince Taglivia. Today, we're going to watch the remarks from President Joe Biden as he addresses the nation today, just one day after the attempt on Donald Trump's life. That was yesterday on the 13th. So, welcome. We're going to watch that together. That will be in a half hour. And people are saying that it's pre-recorded remarks from Joe Biden, but that is going to be in 27 minutes and 30 seconds. So if it's pre-recorded, hopefully they're right on time. That is the hope. So we will play that live and watch it together here today in just about 27 minutes. And we're also going to just recap on what we know for sure about what unfolded yesterday, and also anything that's breaking. We will try our best to cover that as well as it happens. If you're new, please subscribe and like, and I appreciate all of you for tuning in today and yesterday and all that. I'm going to try to get back on track here with my live streaming schedule and provide more of these live shows and updates. Thank you for tuning in. Let's give a shout out here to Glory over on Rumble. Glory be to Christ says, "Hi Vince, long time no see. Half the world is night here. Got a new screen name. Oh, half the world is night. Great to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in over there on Rumble. Please hit those like buttons and all that wherever you're following, and turn on your notifications so when I go live, if you're available, you could tune in and join the conversation. Also, we've got Miles tuning in from X. Miles Dean, if you're not following him on X, he's a great follow. Great friend of mine. He does a lot of great research and digs deeper than the average Joe. He's on top of it. He digs into the deep aspects of everything, making all kinds of cool connections. He was in a space with me yesterday on X. So follow us all on X, and we'll be having these conversations throughout the week and on the weekends as well, and talking about breaking news and sharing ideas and opinions, and it's really fun. So follow us on X and join these conversations. Miles hosts some as well from time to time. So after this, by the way, after really have an interruption here. Stand by. Please stand by. Testing. Please stand by. Please stand by. I think we're having a connection issue. Oh my goodness. As I was saying, I apologize for that interruption. Join me tonight on X if you'd like to. I'm going to join a space with Lolo and others. We're going to discuss what we discuss here now, what we see with Joe Biden's remarks, and more tonight on X. I'll share that. So if you follow me, turn your notifications on, you'll see that post, and you're welcome to jump in and listen, or jump in and join the conversation. And we'll have one or two spaces tonight hosted by myself or by Lolo or by somebody else. Who knows? Maybe Miles is hosting or somebody, and we'll jump into somebody's space, and I'll share wherever I am with you guys so we could keep this show on the road, keep on this stuff. Anyway, like I said, Joe Biden's addressing the nation in about 24 minutes, and it's going to be pre-recorded. Earlier today, Joe Biden had some remarks. Let's look at what he said. Oops. I want to keep this. Let's see if I could keep my ducks in a row here. Let's see. President Biden today. This was posted at 11:19 a.m. Pacific time by C-SPAN. So just shortly after this was live. Let's take a look at what Joe Biden said. And we're ready to go. Let's see here. Here we go.
We'll debate and we'll disagree. That's not going to change. But we're going to not lose sight, in fact, who we are as Americans. Look, Vice President Harris and I were just briefed in the Situation Room by my Homeland Security team, including the Director of the FBI, the Secretary of Homeland Security, the Attorney General, the Director of the Secret Service, my Homeland Security Advisor, the National Security Advisor, and we're going to continue to be briefed. The FBI is leading this investigation, which is still in its early stages. We don't yet have any information about the motive of the shooter. We know who he is. I urge everyone, please, Don't make assumptions about his motives or his affiliations. Let the FBI do their job and their partner agencies do their job. I'm instructed that this investigation be thorough and swift, and the investigators will have every resource they need to get this done. Look, as this investigation continues, here's what we're going to do. First, Mr. Trump, as a former president and nominee of the Republican Party, already receives a heightened level of security. And I've been consistent in my direction to the Secret Service to provide him with every resource, capability, and protective measure necessary to ensure his continued safety. Second, I've directed the head of the Secret Service to review all security measures for the Republican National Convention, which is scheduled to start tomorrow. And third, I've directed an independent review of the national security at yesterday's rally to assess exactly what happened. And we'll share the results of that independent review with the American people as well. And finally, I'll be speaking more about this tonight at greater length from the Oval Office. We must unite as one nation. We must unite as one nation to demonstrate who we are. And so may God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you very much.
And of course, he didn't take any questions. He shuffles off the stage, and we are waiting for the remarks here that are going to be live in about 20 minutes. He said some interesting things there, didn't he? One thing he said here: no information on the motive and affiliations. Let the FBI do their job. The investigation's underway. He hopes it's a swift one. I do agree with one thing he said, something about coming together and all this kind of thing. Great message. Very starkly different than a lot of what we've heard over the past 4 or 5 years from politicians and celebrities, as many people are highlighting right now. But yeah, we do need to come together. I think that's a good message, Joe Biden. I never thought I'd say that, but this situation is it's unfolding in a very uncanny and strange way, prompting a lot of people to try to figure the things out on their own. And it was interesting how this unfolded, by the way, on X. I'll talk about that in a moment. But he also said he said that there's already heightened security for Trump, which a lot of people are talking about. Security, obviously, is under scrutiny right now with how things unfolded yesterday. There's a lot of people analyzing it. We had in our space last night a gentleman named Willie, and he has security experience. So he was talking about this stuff. We also had military personnel talking about their experience with everything they know, and we were just spitballing and kind of thinking and sharing ideas of if we thought it went well, if we thought it was bad, who's in charge, the procedure, how it unfolded, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what we do with our X conversations. Hi Darren, how you doing? And hello Steve. Thank you for tuning in, Steve. I want to real quick take a second, thank Jonathan for the donation. Hiya, Jonathan. Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. And add it to Cookie. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but thank you for the donation as well. Vince, missed you. I hope you are doing well. I am doing very well, and I appreciate that. And thank you for tuning in. And Therese, too. I missed your worldly views. Nice to hear your voice in this mad world. Thank you, Therese. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate that. Oh, wow. Steve, I didn't know this. Steve just says the fallen fireman will have firehouses named after him. Is that really happening? That's great. Fantastic. Yeah, we have some information about that. We're going to talk about that for sure, as we are just kind of giving a short update before Joe Biden releases his pre-recorded message in about 27 minutes. Hopefully it's right on time. If not, we're going to keep talking about what happened here now. I can hide that. All right, y'all. Let's see. An interesting thing Joe Biden said this morning as well that we just watched is that security measures at the RNC are being addressed, and there's an independent review of the event that took place at the rally yesterday. The attempted assassination of Donald Trump, which the media is having a hard time admitting. And Joe Biden said that they will share the results. So they're going to have that separate independent investigation by the Biden group, the Biden people, and it's going to be. I'm interested to see what they say, right? Because we also have the FBI doing their investigation. I'm sure Trump has people doing an investigation. We know that Trump does have a private security hired, so I'm sure that there are multiple investigations going, and we've all been part of, I guess, the public's investigation of it, right? Which is unfolding on X more quickly than it's unfolding in the legacy media. And Elon Musk brags about it. He's like, the news is on X before it's on the news. All the legacy media and all these people, they're getting their information a lot of times from individuals and independent journalists and all these different people that post source material, like they've recorded a video or they've done something. A lot of journalists get their information from people on X. So we're all on there coming up with facts and sharing them. And there's also, don't get me wrong, a lot of bad information and a lot of silly people on there. But once you dig through it and confirm things and whatnot, you have a better picture of what's being reported in real time, at least in live time, compared to what's coming out in the media. It appears that way to me, at least, and to many others. I see people talk about this all the time. And yesterday, Fox News was about an hour behind the things we were talking about. So we'd be talking about some facts that are coming up and kind of discussing these things. And an hour later, we had a gentleman in the space. He's like, breaking news, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, we knew that an hour or more ago. An hour is being generous, by the way. It took half the day for the media to sort of catch up with reality. And I don't know if that's negligence or just they're being extra cautious or they're deceptive on purpose, right? We all have our theories. And I guess it depends on the individual circumstance and all of that. Anyway, onward here. Biden's live in about 15 minutes. Technically not live. I'm hearing that it's pre-recorded, but we will be watching that. So, but as we wait for that to transpire, we're going to continue to look at what we know. Let's see here. Steve says, listen, I'm not from Pennsylvania, but I'm a proud patriot, and I can imagine that there will be firehouses in his honor. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, and I hope there is. That sounds like a great idea. Hello, Black Jester. Thank you for tuning in. Good to see you. Hope your weekend's just fine. Hope it's great. All right. We were talking about the media a little bit. Don Jr. is very dissatisfied with how things have transpired, coming out and voicing his opinions on the matter. After a lot of media outlets failed to acknowledge this assassination attempt, for over 10 hours in some cases, they said, Trump tripped and was escorted off the stage. They said there was a loud popping noise instead of kind of being more specific on what that might be. They were kind of dancing around the issue for some reason, and people are pointing that out, and Don Jr. included. Let's see if I could open this. Check this out. I might have to find a different source because this seems to be broken now. I apologize. Bear with me as I pull this up. I'll just go straight to his X account, I suppose. I did have an article that had this all covered, but we're going to have to go straight to the source here. Donald J. Trump, quote, "Don't tell me they didn't know exactly what they were doing with this. Call my dad a dictator and a threat to democracy wasn't some one-off comment. It has been the main message of the Biden-Kamala campaign and Democrats across the country." That is not in regards to what I was just talking about, but people are pointing out the violent rhetoric that we've been seeing and basically saying that this basically putting blame on certain individuals that have been a little bit vulgar or having what some are saying is violent rhetoric or things like that. Some opinions on the internet going on in that. But Donald Trump Jr. said the left-wing media and Democrat political hacks are actually trying to both sides. Some psychopath attempting to assassinate my father. Just when you think these people can't get any lower, they always do. That was Donald Trump Jr. 6 hours ago. Wow. onward here. Let's see. Melania Trump put out a message as well. I don't know if you guys saw this message from Melania. I'm going to go ahead and read it and show you guys what Melania had to say. I think it was a pretty good message here. So this is from today, July 14th, 2024. Melania Trump said, quote, "I am thinking of you now, my fellow Americans. We have always been a unique union. America, the fabric of our gentle nation is tattered, but our courage and common sense must ascend and bring us back together as one. When I watched that violent bullet strike my husband, Donald, I realized my life and Barron's life were on the brink of devastating change. I am grateful to the brave Secret Service agents and to law enforcement officials who risked their own lives to protect my husband. To the families of the innocent victims who are now suffering from this heinous act, I humbly offer my sincerest sympathy. You need to summon your inner strength for such a terrible reason. Saddens me. A monster who recognized my husband as an inhuman political machine attempted to wring out Donald's passion, his laughter, ingenuity, love of music, and inspiration. The core facts of my husband's life, his human side, were buried below the political machine. Donald, the generous and caring man who I have been with through the best of times and the worst of times. Let us not forget that differing opinions, policy, and political games are inferior to love. Our personal, structural, and life commitment until death is at serious risk. Political concepts are simple when compared to us, human beings. We are all humans, and fundamentally, instinctively, we want to help one another. American politics are only one vehicle that can uplift our communities. Love, compassion, kindness, and empathy are necessities. And let us remember that when the time comes to look beyond the left and the right, beyond the red and the blue, we all come from families with the passion to fight for a better life together while we are here in this earthly realm. Dawn is here again. Let us reunite now. This morning, ascend above the hate, the vitriol, and the simple-minded ideas that ignite violence. We want a world where respect is paramount, family is first, and love transcends. We can realize this world again. Each of us must demand to get it back. We must insist that respect fills the cornerstone of our relationships again. I'm thinking of you, my fellow Americans. The winds of change have arrived. For those of you who cry in support, I thank you. I commend those of you who have reached out beyond the political divide. Thank you for remembering that every single politician is a man or a woman with a loving family. Statement from Melania Trump this morning. A pretty good message there. I don't know if y'all saw that, but I think she makes some very great points. Yeah, we need to get beyond this divide. That's for sure. All right, y'all, if you're just tuning in, we're going to be covering Joe Biden's remarks here in less than 10 minutes. We're just covering what we know so far about what's going on. Timothy Minkster says, I blame Whoopi Goldberg. My dad says Newsmax. Are you watching Newsmax and the live stream? Let me know if you see anything good. Thank you for watching. Sue French. Hi, Vince. Hi, Sue. Good to see you. Steve said her statement was gold. Yeah, Melania Trump did make a really fantastic statement there. And she's spot on. I mean, hopefully people can realize what they want and look at the facts, right? And, because most people want the same things. I don't know. I think this political divide is manufactured. It's silly. Yeah. That's my opinion. Did you know Trump has the smallest Secret Service protection ever in the history of a past president in the history of our country? I did not know that. Um, wow, that's surprising. Miles, we are the news. Steve says you must follow the right people or you'll be led astray. Yeah, you've got to be very you got to be on it. You've got to do your own research. You've got to confirm things. Unfortunately, in this wild world where the media could just really say anything and not be held accountable, it seems. Just checking out what you guys are saying here. Steve Sullivan says she is a kind soul. She really is. Very, very kind soul. And that was a very, very kind statement from her. Uh-oh. All right. We've got Joe Biden live here, hopefully in 5 or 6 minutes. So I will put that on. I'm just checking here. I got a message. It looks like oh, never mind. Scratch that. All right. Let's see. New York Post put out an article today, everything that we know. Let's go through that right now. We'll start going through it. And then I think by the time we get through this, or while we're in the middle of it, Joe Biden will start his remarks, President Biden addressing the nation. And we will cut to that as soon as that's live. Until then, let me check this real quick and we'll talk about some of the facts of what unfolded yesterday. Okay. Yeah, I see that. Thank you, Dad. That's a post from like, I don't know if that's confirmed. So I'm not sure if that's confirmed. I did see that. All right, everything we know about Trump's assassination attempt as authorities work to uncover the sniper's motive, which, as you heard, has not been officially released by the FBI or Joe Biden or anybody. We might learn something more about that here very soon, though. We'll see. So, as we all know, former President Donald Trump was shot in an assassination attempt at his campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, Saturday. This is the New York Post. They wrote, quote, Trump was hit in the ear. 2 attendees were critically injured, and 1 was killed by the would-be assassin. Secret Service agents killed the gunman. Trump was mid-sentence when shots rang out at the outdoor rally venue. This is the moment Trump felt and heard. Trump said he felt his skin tearing from the bullet on his that hit his ear, and he could hear the whizzing passing him by. And this is the picture of him touching his ear before he crouched down and was surrounded by the Secret Service. The New York Post goes on. They write, Trump could be seen putting his hand to his ear before ducking down as service agents swarmed the presumptive Republican presidential candidate. And the sniper has been identified as Thomas Matthew Crooks, who was approximately 400 feet away and fired between 5 and 7 shots at the former president before he was killed by the Secret Service. So all the facts of this case are still murky. 5 to 7 shots. We don't even know. And there's a lot of talk about this, obviously. That's why we're talking about it. But we're going to hopefully learn more here shortly. Biden should be live any minute now, and it's right here in front of me. So hopefully we can watch it together and learn something new. I wonder. I don't know. Anyway, a senior law enforcement source told the New York Post, quote, Trump came within inches of having of this being catastrophic. That's not the exact quote, but that is a paraphrase of what was told. Paraphrasing. They write, witnesses said that they frantically tried to swarm Secret Service agents about a suspicious man on the roof of the manufacturing plant moments before he unleashed his deadly onslaught. That's right. There were multiple witnesses that said they were trying to get the attention of police, law enforcement, and the Secret Service prior to what unfolded, prior to Trump's ear being shot. People saw that somebody was up on the roof with a firearm, raising a lot of questions about about how this all unfolded, what went wrong, right? All this kind of thing. Here's a quote from Greg Smith, who was interviewed by BBC yesterday, shortly after this unfolded, and he was the redheaded witness interviewed by BBC. He said this quote: "He was up there for a couple of minutes, absolutely at least 3-4 minutes. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time," Greg Smith told BBC. A doctor had attempted to save the life of a badly wounded rallygoer who was jammed between the bleachers and had a very, very gruesome injury, and he was also interviewed. Police snipers on a roof near Trump returned fire, killing Crooks. These are the two snipers, the two policemen, and you can see he does have a police vest on. I know there was some conversation as to whether this was Secret Service or police or who. This is local police. And yeah, they returned fire. A lot of people are saying they had eyes on the suspect longer than they should have. I think a lot of people are saying 30 seconds and kind of trying to extrapolate based on the footage and whatnot that they had seen him for 30 seconds. Others are saying they didn't have a vantage point. They didn't have a view because the roof that they were looking at was like the roof they're on here with a slight pitch, and they couldn't see beyond the ridge. And some people are saying it's unclear. Some people are saying he was behind the ridge, and then once he went up, they got him, or there's a lot of speculation. We don't know yet, but we are going to learn more. We have the FBI expressed surprise at how many bullets the sniper was able to fire before the Secret Service took care of him. Quote, it is surprising, but to get all the details of that will come out later in the investigation. Kevin Rojic, special agent in charge of the FBI's Pittsburgh field office, said at a press conference. They had a press conference, I believe, last night and today. Nothing much came from that except that they're investigating, and obviously they encourage people that if they have information on the topic to send it their way. President Biden should be going live any second now to address the nation, and it doesn't look like he's live yet, but I will switch to that here as soon as he's live. It'll be any minute now, I hope. Unless it's actually live, they're usually late, but stand by and we'll watch that. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, so what else do we know? Crooks, the shooter, used a rifle that was purchased by his father, and explosive materials were found in his car and his home. A motive has not yet been determined. Wow. In a statement shortly after the attempt on his life, Trump said he could feel the bullet ripping through his skin and that there was much bleeding. Dan Scavino credited Trump's decision to use and reference the Jumbotron at the rally with saving his life. Use and reference the Jumbotron. That's a quote. I don't know. I don't really understand what that is. But yeah, Steve points this out here in the comments. Oh, that's what he's talking about, the teleprompter or Jumbotron. Steve says he looked down at the teleprompter and then he heard something and he looked to the right, and that saved his life. God saved his life. Yeah, that's what Dan Scavino said too. Oh, here we go.
About the need for us to lower the temperature in our politics. And to remember,
Joe Biden.
While we may disagree, we are not enemies. We're neighbors. We're friends, co-workers, citizens, and most importantly, we're fellow Americans. We must stand together. Yesterday's shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania calls on all of us to take a step back. Take stock of where we are, how we go forward from here. Thankfully, former Trump is not seriously injured. I spoke with him last night. I'm grateful. He's doing well, and Jill and I keep him and his family in our prayers. We also extend our deepest condolences to the family of the victims who was killed. Corey was a husband, a father, a volunteer firefighter, a hero, sheltering his family from those bullets. We should all hold his family and all those injured in our prayers. Earlier today, I spoke about an ongoing investigation. We do not know the motive of the shooter yet. We don't know his opinions or affiliations. We don't know whether he had help or support or if he communicated with anyone else. Law enforcement professionals, as I speak, are investigating those questions. Tonight, I want to speak to what we do know. A former president was shot, an American citizen killed, while simply exercising his freedom to support the candidate of his choosing. We cannot, we must not go down this road in America. We've traveled it before throughout our history. Violence has never been the answer. Whether it's with members of Congress of both parties being targeted and shot, or a violent mob attacking the Capitol on January 6th, or a brutal attack on the spouse of former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, or information and intimidation on election officials, or the kidnapping plot against the sitting governor, or an attempted assassination on Donald Trump. There is no place in America for this kind of violence, or for any violence ever. Period. No exceptions. We can't allow this violence to be normalized. You know, the political record in this country has gotten very heated. It's time to cool it down. We all have a responsibility to do that. Yes, we have that the choice in
Oh, I apologize here. I paused it here. Let's get right back to this.
we make in this election is going to shape the future of America and the world for decades to come. I believe that with all my soul. I know that millions of my fellow Americans believe it as well. And some have a different view as to the direction our country should take. Disagreement is inevitable in American democracy. It's part of human nature. But politics must never be a literal battlefield, and God forbid, a killing field. I believe politics ought to be an arena for peaceful debate, to pursue justice, to make decisions guided by the Declaration of Independence and our Constitution. We stand for an America, not of extremism and fury, but of decency and grace. All of us now face the time of testing as the election approaches. And the higher the stakes, the more fervent the passions become. This places an added burden on each of us to ensure that no matter how strong our convictions, we must never descend into violence. The Republican convention will start tomorrow. I have no doubt they'll criticize my record and offer their own vision for this country. I'll be traveling this week making the case for our record and the vision, my vision of the country, our vision. I'll continue to speak out strongly for our democracy, stand up for our Constitution and the rule of law, to call for action at the ballot box, no violence on our streets. That's how democracy should work. We debate and disagree. We compare and contrast the character of the candidates, the records, the issues, the agenda, the vision for America. But in America, we resolve our differences at the battle box. You know, that's how we do it, at the battle box, not with bullets. The power to change America should always rest in the hands of the people, not in the hands of a would-be assassin. You know, the path forward through competing visions of the campaign should always be resolved peacefully, not through acts of violence. You know, we're blessed to live in the greatest country on earth, and I believe that with every soul, every power of my being. So tonight, I'm asking every American to recommit, to make America, think about it. What's made America so special? Here in America, everyone must be treated with dignity and respect, and hate must have no safe harbor. Here in America, we need to get out of our silos, where we only listen to those with whom we agree, where misinformation is rampant, where foreign actors fan the flames of our division to shape the outcomes consistent with their interests, not ours. Let's remember, here in America, while unity is the most elusive of all goals right now, nothing is more important for us now than standing together. We can do this. You know, from the beginning, our founders understood the power of passion. And so they created a democracy that gave reason and balance a chance to prevail over brute force. That's the American we must be. An American democracy where arguments are made in good faith, American democracy, where the rule of law is respected. American democracy, where decency, dignity, fair play aren't just quaint notions, but living, breathing realities. We owe that to those who come before us, to those who gave their lives for this country. We owe that to ourselves. We owe it to our children and our grandchildren. Look, let's never lose sight of who we are. Let's remember we are the United States of America. There is nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
Okie dokie. There we have it. We did not learn anything from that. Thank you, White House and President Biden in that address to the nation. They said it was pre-recorded, yet Joe Biden, it sounded to me like he was saying battle box. He said, instead of ballot box, he said battle box a couple times. Did you guys hear that too? Wow. If it was pre-recorded, why wouldn't they say cut? Let's go back. Let's reset the prompters. Joe, start again, please. It's a ballot box. It's ballot box. Oh, hey, RM. Good to see you. Good to see you, RM. Holy smokes. RM says battle box and homeless security. Did he say homeless? Homeless security instead of homeland security. G-Move says they did. That was the best cut. So Joe Biden did say violence has never been the answer. He did compare what happened yesterday, where there was an attempt on Donald Trump's life, to January 6th and other instances of violence. And he went on about that. I'm sure we're going to see people like, really? We're going to see people's thoughts on that here tonight. Right now, I'm sure it's going crazy on X. Let's see. But he also said he'll continue to speak out strong for our democracy. RM says he said it 3 times. Battle box and homeless security instead of ballot box and homeland security, I'm assuming. Oh my gosh. So he said that we don't know the motive of the shooter. He didn't provide us with any more information, really. So we're just going to have to stand by. Unfortunately, when the FBI had their presser, they said it could take weeks to months to get all the facts on the table from the investigation. So we're just going to have to be patient and wait on them. And then other investigations are going. Yeah, so here we go. He did say battle box. He did, and it was. Hold on, wasn't this pre-recorded? My goodness, let's watch that again real quick here. I'll pull it up. No place in America for any violence. I agree with him on that. But let's hear what he said one more time.
The issues, the agenda, the vision for America. But in America, we resolve our differences at the battle box. We resolve our differences at the battle box.
We resolve our differences at the battle box. I can't believe they went with that. Was that the best cut? That's the best cut. Oh, good gosh. Beck, hi everybody. It's been a while. Hello, Beck. Thank you for tuning in. It has been a while, indeed. Oh my gosh. Steve said he didn't know that his father had purchased the firearm allegedly. Yeah, that is the media narrative right now. And it's something I learned today as well. I think everybody did. Battle Box sounds like a Jason Statham movie. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, Joe Biden says we need to lower the temperature in our politics in the beginning of his address. Why is the temperature so hot in the first place, Joe? Jeez. Babalu, thank you for tuning in over on X. Babalu says, Vince, have you noticed? Here we go. Vince, have you noticed that the Gen Zers got their marching orders to trash talk Trump? I think they are using them to influence their peers to vote for Biden. It takes one generation to change a country. Yeah, we know that people are encouraged to report certain ways or cover certain topics and whatnot. And there's also the just genuine supporters for Biden. However sparse they are, there are people that are supporters, and they have the same points they're making. Yeah, I think you're right, Babalu. Beck says it seems they would have prettied it up being a pre-recording. I know, it's very odd. Very odd. Wow. So that video put out by the White House of Joe Biden was pretty much met my expectations. What about yours? I wasn't expecting anything groundbreaking or anything. I was actually expecting exactly what we saw, a blunder or two, and a condemnation of some sort of violence, which is good. Of course, it's just predictable and fine, expected. Not fine with the blunders and everything. That's very concerning. I think everybody is well aware of that. Let's go back to this article by the New York Post and see if there's anything else that's new from today that we don't already know. We were talking about this alleged shooter, and he was allegedly up there for a couple minutes as Greg Smith, one of the people they interviewed, BBC interviewed live there, and others said they saw him up there for a couple minutes, 3-4 minutes, as they were trying to notify law enforcement prior to the event, prior to Trump being shot, and that he had got the firearm from his father, and one person was killed other than the shooter. Is that accurate here? And I think there's 2 other people that were in critical condition, but they're doing better now. Last I heard, a doctor attempted to save the life of a rally goer who was struck by a bullet. The FBI was surprised at how many bullets the sniper was able to fire before the Secret Service acted. Blah blah blah. By the way, Trump did go to the hospital after, was released shortly after, and then he's been active ever since. He is actually ready to attend the Republican National Convention starting tomorrow. He already flew into the area, and his campaign said there's no change to his schedule. I think Trump came out and said, I was going to kind of move things around a day or two or whatever, but you know what? I said no. I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm paraphrasing, by the way. He didn't say that verbatim, but he indicated something along those lines. So Trump's sticking to it. This morning, Trump was seen on the golf course less than 24 hours after he was shot. And he went to the hospital and all that. He was golfing this morning. So it's great. Trump's just not stopping. He's not letting this affect him. He's right back to it, which is pretty remarkable. Pretty remarkable. Let's see here. Here's some information on the victims from yesterday. Retired volunteer fire chief Corey Comparator, 50, was killed by the sniper's bullet at the rally. Here's his image. Comparator apparently dived in front of his family to protect them from the hailstorm of bullets. He has served as the fire chief of Buffalo Township, pardon me. Corey Comparator 50. I apologize if I mispronounce his name. He was killed in the shooting. Quote, he was a hero that shielded his daughters. Comparator's sister Dawn wrote in a Facebook post. Quote, his wife and girls just lived through the unthinkable and unimaginable, she added. The others were badly wounded, and Texas Representative Ronnie Jackson claims his nephew who attended the rally was also grazed by a bullet. The other two victims, who are now listed in stable condition, have been identified as Pennsylvania's David Dutch, 57, of New Kensington, and James Copenhaver, 74, of Moon Township. I'm glad they are okay now and in stable condition, because yesterday they were saying they were in critical condition, and a lot of people were very concerned about that. Here we go. This is just in recently. Trump landed in Milwaukee. And let's see here. We've got servicemen there to greet Trump as he lands. Let's take a quick look at this video. Yeah, Steve, they were in intensive, or they were in critical condition. It sounds like they are more stable now, thankfully. Here's Justin. Trump raises a fist to the U.S. airman as he departs plane in Milwaukee. Oh, this is as he departs. There they are. So there's Trump acknowledging them. Let's see that again. There he goes. So Trump's ready. Soldiers looking at a leader. Doug on X says it's been a while since they had one. Christy, thank you for the donation. Shiba dog with a big smile on his face, tilting his head. You're right. Thank you so much. Oh, that's the. I'm sorry, I don't see that. So that is a sticker of a cute dog. Thank you so much. It just spells it out here. It turns it to text, but I see now. Thank you so much for the donation. Steve says I joined his X account. I don't know what you're talking about, Steve. If you want to elaborate, go ahead. I'd appreciate it. Let's see here. Yeah, so thank you. Let's see what this is. Somebody's sending me stuff. Oh, gosh. Thank you, G, for sharing this with me on X. Already memes about the ballot box, or the blunder that Joe Biden made. We resolve our differences in the battle box. People are quick to make memes here. Wow. Thank you, G. So if you guys have anything breaking, you could put it in the comments, or put it, send me a message on X or tag me on X. Thank you, Vader. Good to see you over there on Pilled. Thank you for the donation. MLV. Vader, what are you talking about? What's that? Sleuth for Truth says, I hope everyone gets to read the Eric Prince's evaluation of the Secret Service performance last night at the Trump event. Is that, I haven't heard about that, Sleuth. Where's this? Have you read Eric Prince's evaluation of the events yesterday? He's got the expertise, and he has a different take than you do. Here's an excerpt from his post, which you can find on his timeline. Here's one quote. This is a quote from Eric Prince. Thank you, Sleuth, for pointing this out. It says here, quote, the law enforcement sniper, unclear if USSS, in newsreels was clearly overwhelmed as his face came off his rifle instead of doing his job. Clearly, they were watching the shooter, but apparently have a no first shot policy. The only positive action was an apparent 488-yard shot by one USSS sniper, which dispatched the assassin. But after the assassin launched at least 5 rounds, wounding Donald J. Trump, and killing and severely injuring others in the crowd. Okay. So Eric Prince is speculating that there's a no first shot policy. I am not sure, but there is a lot of question to this. Much love V means much love Vince. Thank you so much, Vader. Much love to you. Thank you for watching. It's so good to see you. And look at this. Member for 4 months. Christy, Beck. Thank you so much. You've been supporting me for months. I really appreciate that. VIP member for 4 months. Thank you so much over there on YouTube. Thank you, Beck. If you join Comparators X account, it went from 40 subscribers to several thousand. Okay. Steve, if you follow me on X, share that with me. I'm not sure who that is or what that is. Comparator. Maybe I could search for it real quick. Is it good stuff or what? It must be, I would assume. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. I'm not aware of that. I appreciate it. If you could send me info, I'd like that. You might be able to post a link in the chat too. I'm not sure. I have to check on the settings there. Oh my gosh. Joe Biden's address was just absolutely horrible. We didn't learn anything. So we're just going to continue on with what we do know. This Eric Prince stuff's interesting. Did he post the whole analysis on X? Here's an excerpt from his post, which you can find on his timeline. Let's see, Eric Prince. Let's try to go to his page. I'm curious to see what else he said on this. Let's see. Hopefully, Eric Prince, hopefully after the tragedy yesterday in Butler, Pennsylvania, we can all recognize that unaccountable, bloated bureaucracies continue to fail us as Americans. Battle box memes are exploding. Yeah, I know. Joe Biden said battle boxed instead of ballot boxed in his pre-recorded remarks, which we did not learn much from. He did condemn violence, and that's about the only good thing that came from it. So if you have any good memes, tag me in them. I'd like to have a good laugh. Alrighty. Vader. Hey, Punlo Picasso. Oh, thank you, Steve. The fireman who was shot is who you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm following him. I'd be interested to. I'd appreciate it. Any information you guys send it my way. I appreciate it. I'm sure I can find him after this. Joe Biden actually also said this. Thankfully, former Trump is not seriously injured. Thank you, Joe.
Yesterday's shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania calls on all of us to take a step back. Take stock of where we are, how we go forward from here. Thankfully, former Trump is not seriously injured. I spoke with him last night. I'm grateful. He's doing well, and Jill and I keep him and his family in our prayers. Yesterday,
seriously, listen closely to this. This is pre-recorded, and it's just largely unintelligible. Words are skipped. Not good. Polno says, make the connection for us, Vince. I miss my man, Vader. You guys, I don't know. Where do you want me to connect you? I think Vader's over there. Thank you for the donation, Vader. Again, Vader's over on Pilled, and Polno Picasso's over on X, Vader. How about this? I'll share the I'll put your X account, Ponlo, onto the Pilled chat, and if Vader wants to find you, he will. I'm sure he does. Let's see here. Give me a moment while I do this. Ponlo. All right, y'all. Anything else going on? Breaking, I mean. We still have more to talk about here. I've got more on deck, but I'm just curious as to any breaking news. Here's Punlo. All right, Vader, if you would follow Punlo Picasso, and there you go. Copy says the MSM only doubled down on their shady lying ways, bought and sold marionettes. Thank you, Copy Who. Which, by the way, great show, Copy Who. I'm really digging your podcast. So you guys, if you like this stuff, follow Copy Who. He's doing some good, creating some good content out there on X and maybe elsewhere. I watch on X though, so check that out. Copy Who, pinned down below. Friend of mine, a friend of ours. Thank you, Copy Who. Punlo says, I've heard the sniper was instructed not to shoot, but disobeyed and killed and took the shot. Ooh. Punlo, there are rumors. Eric Prince said something like that too. People speculate that he had eyes on target for like 30 seconds or so. It's just rumors as far as I know. I have no way of knowing that without a doubt, and I don't think it's been confirmed officially. So it could be, but there's just only speculation on that at this point in time. So I'm happy to look at any evidence people have. And of course, we're going to wait for Joe Biden administration's analysis of the events, which they said they'll release the details as soon as they've done their independent investigation, as well as the FBI's investigation. I'm sure the local police are also involved to doing interrogations, interviews, questioning everybody there. It's a lot to go through, so it's going to take a long time, and hopefully it's a good, honest disclosure of real information and what actually occurred. We could only hope, right? Anyway, I don't know what you're talking about, the explosion, Beck, but there were reports of bomb squad on location and all this kind of stuff during the unfolding of things that occurred. I don't know if this is still a crime scene. It probably still is. The investigation's underway. We don't know much except by what is publicly out there. No motive. We just have little bits of information coming out very slowly. And then as we figured out, if you wait for the media, about 1 to 12 hours later, the mainstream legacy media will tell you. Donald Trump says that a last millisecond head tilt saved his life. Man. Also, there was some interesting predictions of this that were made. Like my friend Lucas, or our friend Lucas, a lot of you know Lucas, he pointed out that some guy who's like a prophet or something, I don't know who he is, made the prediction, and he actually said that he had a vision or a dream or something that a bullet whizzed by Trump and he goes down and puts his hand up and all this stuff. Pretty interesting how he described it weeks ago. And then we saw this happen. It's pretty wild stuff. And, some people think there's something to that. Some people think it's coincidence, whatever. It's just interesting. I don't know what it is, but thought I'd say that. Trump did turn his head just like this. If it was, some people are saying, I think Trump said like a quarter inch or very not a lot. If it was a little bit different positioning, it would have been catastrophic. Steve says, sniper head target in sights for 3 minutes. Top brass made him wait. This has been debunked. I saw it too several hours ago. Yes, Beck, there have been reports that there were explosives in bags in his car or something along those lines. Yes, and there was a vehicle near the scene, and they were looking for explosives and whatnot at the crime scene yesterday. So we're waiting on more information. There's also a lot of conspiracies going on where I've talked to a lot of people. Some people are saying they think that there was, multiple people shooting and all these different theories. And there's all kinds of speculation and wildness going on. I mean, this is what happens when there's not a lot of credible information out there. We have to just look at what's in front of us and try to figure it out. But I haven't found any definitive information to where I could tell you that they were told to stand down or anything like this, although maybe that's the case. Oh my gosh. DC Drano, thank you, G-Move. This is just from 17 minutes ago. New video. Trump assassin video shows him crawling on the roof while multiple people point him out to the police. They yelled about him for almost an entire minute. It's insane how Secret Service allowed this amateur to almost kill Trump. Let's watch this new video posted by DC Drano from the crowd, from somebody in the crowd at yesterday's rally. So I'm going to go ahead and play this for y'all.
He was doing the job. I wouldn't even be doing this. I'd be at some beautiful places aboard this ocean.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down. See him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
And son, I'm here with you fighting cartel to get a Senate.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look.
And it's
There he
not
is.
easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be
Wow.
dangerous people, criminals.
Crazy.
We have criminals.
He's
We
on
have
the roof. He's
drug
alive.
dealers. We have. Doing the job, I wouldn't even be.
I apologize. There was a brief interruption there, but look at how close. Okay. Yeah, very close to the stage. There's Trump and the stage and the screen. The camera turns. It's kind of hard to tell with how he panned, but there's the building. There's it looks like a law enforcement officer in the background here in front of the building, where everyone's saying, "Officer, someone's on the roof." Panning forward here. The person is right here behind these leaves on the roof as they are prone, laying down, and they crawl forward. This is allegedly about a minute before the shooting took place. There you can see there he is there by my cursor on the roof, and people are pointing it out. You could actually see, let's see, I'll play it from here again.
Right there, see him? He's laying down. See him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
Wow. And there are multiple videos like this of people trying to notify the police. I've seen people ask, these people in the crowd see it. Is there no security in the crowd? We did see the police officer in the background, but Trump has personal security. There's Secret Service. There's local law enforcement. It's very concerning that there's a security breach like this and that there was not more coverage of the rooftops. It's a very close roof. There was even a ladder positioned on one side of it that people are circulating images of. Usually it's, from what I learned yesterday talking to people, it seems like everyone's in agreement that the typical procedure for the Secret Service and the local law enforcement is to evaluate the entire area very thoroughly prior to the president or former president or somebody who may be a target for crazy people. They evaluate the entire area very thoroughly. Somebody mentioned drones. Yeah, the FBI last night during the press conference even mentioned they do have aerial assets that they utilize in analyzing areas, but also in investigations after and this kind of thing. They have these assets, right? I don't know if one was in the air during the rally. I would assume not, but typically I would imagine there would not be such a wide open rooftop with easy access and nothing there to stop somebody from accessing it with a firearm and attempting to assassinate the former president and future president, or the most likely future president as well, President Donald J. Trump. Wild. Thank you, G, for sending that. I appreciate that little update there. Beck says, come on, the building was perfectly positioned for a watch tower type setup. Huh. And also, I think there was a water tower not too far away in different areas where they should have had more security on rooftops. And around these buildings, they should be like, nobody should be allowed to access the rooftop within a large distance of a president. Babalu says none of it makes sense. It doesn't. It really doesn't. This is breaking. A senior House Democrat, unknown, I don't know who, but breaking, Unusual Wales is reporting this now. A senior House Democrat tells Axios, we've all resigned ourselves to a second Trump presidency. Wow. From Unusual Wales on X. I'll retweet it if you're interested in seeing it. Wow, that's breaking now. I'm not sure who said that. So, I mean, what does that mean they're going to do at the battle box? Are they going to vote for Trump at the battle box? Hey, thank you, Forrest, for the donation. I don't recall donated as well. Thank you both very much. Good to see you over there on DLive. Oh, yeah, Forrest, thank you for mentioning that. That is in my notes here. It's coming out that the shooter was in a BlackRock commercial recently as well. In the last few years, the shooter was in a BlackRock commercial. Out of all the things, a BlackRock commercial, which is very weird. And I've also saw rumors, by the way, there were rumors floating around. This is unconfirmed that that the shooter was a member on Discord and that there has been information deleted or something like this. Hopefully, once the FBI finishes their investigation and everyone else who's investigating gets to the bottom of it, if that is true, because that's a common factor with a lot of incidents that we've seen, is that they have these accounts on Discord. So the fact that that came out may be untrue, but we're going to have to wait for the investigation for all these little details like that, especially as it comes to the cyber aspect and whatnot. Some independent journalists, or not independent, but some journalists from, who was it? Who sent journalists to the alleged shooter's house last night? Was it? I don't think it was James O'Keefe. It was Stephen Crowder. Stephen Crowder sent some journalists to the shooter's street last night to try to scope it out, see if there's anything to report on. And it was blocked off, and access was denied to the street by a truck and a roadblock, like a sign. So they weren't able to access the street. That was just kind of interesting that they had assets there blocking the street of the suspected shooter pretty quickly yesterday. So battle box sums it up pretty well. That's what our ballot boxes have turned into. Jeez. Oh, man. In America, we resolve our differences at the battle box. Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you. That's what we waited for all day, that address. People are criticizing the Secret Service as well. There's a lot of debate, and I'll say this. When it comes to this argument, people are bringing this up because Trump was shot. Was the what we saw standard procedure? Could it have gone better? What went wrong? All these questions are what people are asking. People are criticizing the Secret Service, saying, and also people are applauding them, saying they did great. They did everything right. People are saying, well, let's just watch this video. This is from TikTok. Tyler Fisher posted it. He's a comedian. He says, I wouldn't trust this lady guarding my laptop while I'm taking a dump at a Starbucks. Obviously, he's a comedian, so he's being funny. But this is Trump being put into the vehicle and whisked away yesterday after he was shot. Oh, gosh. I'm going to mute this. So he's talking about this woman here trying to holster her weapon. this agent trying to holster her weapon as Trump's getting in the vehicle. People are criticizing her for that. That's Trump. And there she is she can't holster her weapon. Okay. I'll say this, in this type of moment, and by the way, I'm not an expert in security or Secret Service or anything like that, but I would imagine in this type of situation, tensions are high, people are panicking, and you're making decisions while adrenaline's rushing and all that. So it's not an easy job. And also these people do these jobs with the knowledge that they may take a bullet for the president, right? And it looked to me like a lot of these agents were blocking the president in the case that there was still another shooter or whatever. But people are saying, people are having DEI arguments, diversity, what is it? Whatever it is, this DEI argument of inclusion. And what is it? Diversity, equity, inclusion. Boeing does it. The Secret Service, they're saying, does it, and all this. And they're saying, that tall, experienced men should be the people doing this, and that this compromises the president and whatnot. I've seen this argument. I will say, though, some women are very capable of defending their country, serving their country in multiple branches in the military. There's some badass women in our country. So there's no doubt about that. But people are concerned. So that's just part of the conversation of all this is DEI. DEI. Even I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to go Elon Musk pointed this out, and it's kind of interesting. It's very interesting. Let me pull it up. Elon Musk yesterday he pointed this out, but wow. Okay, I think it was a reply. Give me a moment as I pull this up because Elon Musk kind of touched on this. Pardon me 1 second as I pull this up. By the way, Biden has halted the ads that refer to Trump as Hitler after this assassination attempt. I guess they decided, I think maybe our rhetoric is a little too far. Yeah, the Secret Service director, that's the information I'm looking for right now, Punlo Picasso, and I'm really close to it here. Just give me one moment. Because this is some important information. I think it's very relevant and part of this conversation. So here it is. The director of the Secret Service. Her name is Kimberly A. Cheadle. And we'll take a look at this. So she is the 27th director of the U.S. Secret Service, sworn in on September 17th, 2022. And she's responsible for the agency's mission. It says here, prior to her appointment, Ms. Cheadle served as Senior Director in Global Security at PepsiCo, where she was responsible for directing and implementing security protocols for the company's facilities in North America. Her role at PepsiCo involved developing risk management assessment and risk mitigation. I actually talked to somebody who worked for PepsiCo yesterday on X, and they said that they had the horrid security. And that's just their opinion on somebody who allegedly worked for PepsiCo in our space on X last night. So, of course, people can BS, but there's no reason for me not to believe that. It could be untrue or true. Take it with a grain of salt. This is just allegations. But she did work for PepsiCo, Senior Director in Global Security at PepsiCo. Elon Musk commented on that, saying, so before being in charge of protecting the president, she was guarding bags of Cheetos, which is ironic considering Cheetos, people call President Trump Cheeto as well. So that was 23 hours ago when this happened. Elon Musk has pointed out these kinds of issues before, or at least the DEI thing before, which is debatable, I think, on this. I really do. But anyway. Punlo Picasso says she's never done the actual work. Thank you, Vader, for the gift, the donation. Kim Clement is the prophet guy, Sergeant Peterson says. Thank you, Sergeant Peterson. I appreciate that. So if you guys want more on that, Kim, Kim, Clement, Clement is the prophet dude who made that prediction. It's interesting. If you're into that kind of thing, check it out. Vader, you crack me up. Just checking out the comments here. Tory, Biden called for Trump to be in a bullseye last week. Yeah, he said, was it bullseye? Something like that. And the White House Twitter actually, or the Joe Biden Twitter, I'm not sure which one it was, they deleted that post. And I guess there is actually there's people are talking about there may be a recording that's held by some news outlets out there where there is a call where they say that as well. And we're going to take a quick 1-2 minute break as I check out this this video, and then actually let's do like a 4-minute break, and then I'll be back with the live stream. There's still more I want to talk about, so get your snacks, get your drinks, make sure you like and subscribe and stand by. I'll be right back in just 4 or 5 minutes with more. And I do have something breaking here, and I need to go to the quick bathroom break, so let's do a few minutes here. I'm going to put up this waiting screen, stand by, and share this, comment, like, subscribe. I'll be right back. Thank you guys. Be back shortly. I'm back, folks. Thank you so much for standing by. Just taking a quick break there. And I received a very interesting video from Falou over on X that he took the time today to recover, edit, share with us. And we're going to play that now. We were talking about a prediction earlier, and here's another one. This is exclusive. Falou just posted it 10 minutes ago. And this is a clip. Actually, Falou does a great job of explaining it. So why don't we just go to his post? And before I do, I'm going to share this so you guys can try to give this the attention it deserves over on X and share it, because this is really quite interesting. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat here. Pilled on Rumble and D Live. Give Falou a follow if you're on X. And we're going to look at this. I'm going to play it now for us live. But there is the original video posted by Falou. Here it is. Let me get rid of this ticker. There we go. And let's watch this. Here we go.
So Monday, July 8th, I was in a popular Twitter space, about 400 people. It was Alpha Warrior, Maze Love, and MV. And at about 1:45 Eastern time, this is the announcement that came out on the Twitter space randomly.
Well, you opened your mic, I saw you.
I did. I just need to see if this is true. I heard that there was an assassination attempt on Trump tonight, and that Comcast is down. Is there anyone that's heard any of this or can validate any of this? And where the hell did Alpha go? Because he probably... all right, I don't know. I just wanted to announce that. I announced it before I validated.
Okay, and then about half an hour later, people were checking, and then this came out.
I reached out to her and asked her where she heard it, and she said that somebody... I guess where she's in Clubhouse right now, and she said that somebody that's in there in Pennsylvania, where apparently he's at, is reporting from there. And they said that the Comcast was down, and I guess it's down across the East Coast. I don't know. I'm looking into that too, but I haven't seen anything. I don't know. Hold on, Alpha, we coming to get you. But yeah, so it's. But apparently there was an attempt, and I don't know. I'm assuming that it eventually will make the news, but it just happened. I don't know. It's 1:00 in the morning. What the hell would he be doing out though? So I guess.
So random.
Huh?
Sorry, can I ask the question really?
Okay, she even said Pennsylvania. No one even knows if he was in Pennsylvania on Monday or Tuesday. That's Monday night, Tuesday morning, a.m., 1:00 on Tuesday. He was shot on Saturday, the 13th. That was 7/9. What does that mean?
Holy moly. What? That is really wild. Absolutely wild. Thank you, Steve. Great channel. I don't know how it popped up, but there was, but thank you, everybody. Very interesting. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate you. Thank you for finding it. Please, if you like it, subscribe, and I'll be live again soon. Is this hours before the rally started? Pomlo, this was on the 9th of this month. This was on the 9th. A few days before that, the girl is, I think it was Maze, at Maze Love 14, and a friend of at X Alpha Warrior X. I think you guys may know Alpha Warrior. I tagged them and I retweeted this. If you guys go follow me on X, you can do the same. Let's see if this lets me post this. If you guys want to share that, please go ahead. Yeah, okay, there's the link to the post, and also it links to Falou. Follow Falou. Thank you for digging that up and taking the time to edit that video of somebody saying that they heard of an assassination attempt on Donald Trump 4 days before it actually happened on Maze and Alpha Warrior's space from a few days ago. That is weird. And they even say in Pennsylvania. That is very odd. And maybe it's just a coincidence, but holy smokes. Pumlo Picasso says, whoa, I remember a girl came out with a dream a week or so ago that Trump was shot, but doubt that's the same source of who Mays heard. I don't know. I don't have any more information than that, but interesting. Holy moly. That's something. That's really interesting. Thank you, Mike, for that exclusive, because nobody's posting that yet. That's the first I've heard of it, and I'm glad you had you remembered that from the middle of the night from a week ago from Maze and Alpha Warrior Space, which they hold some good spaces sometimes. So if you're not on X, get on X and join us. Thank you, Beck, for retweeting that. It is odd. I'd like to, hopefully we could get Maze or Alpha Warrior's thoughts on this. That would be cool, huh? Yeah, if you guys are listening, you're welcome. If anybody's listening, Maze or Alpha Warrior, if you want to jump in, send me a DM and I'll let you join me on the live stream. If you remember this or want to talk about it, or if you were any of that, that'd be cool. Yeah, it is nuts. It is nuts. Huh. I want to see here. Do we know who said that? Could we let's watch this again. I want to watch it more closely real quick. Let's watch that exclusive from Blue on somebody saying that they heard Trump got shot days before Trump got shot. So we're gonna watch this one more time because I want to look at it and see if I could get the name of this person. Let's see.
So Monday, July 8th, I was in a popular Twitter space, about 400 people. It was Alpha Warrior, Maze Love, and MV. And at about 1:45 Eastern time, this is the announcement that came out on the Twitter space randomly.
Well, you opened your mic. I saw you.
I did. I just need to see if this is true. I heard that there was an assassination attempt on Trump tonight and that Comcast is down. Is there anyone that's heard any of this or can validate any of this?
So I can't tell who's speaking, and you could see there it says speaker underneath all the images of people. Usually when someone's speaking, it'll show that they're speaking. Everyone appears to be muted except this one on the bottom left. So maybe that is who is speaking here. That's what I'm trying to find out, and I can't even see their whole name, unfortunately. And that's unfortunate. Let's see if I can find them. Oh, here they are. It looks to be, I don't know if this is them, but anyway, let's listen to the rest of this real quick.
Where the hell did Alpha go? Because he probably, all right, I don't know. I just wanted to announce that. I announced it before I validated.
Okay, and then about half an hour later, people were checking, and then this came out.
I reached out to her and asked her where she heard it, and she said that somebody, I guess where she's in Clubhouse right now, and she said that somebody that's in there in Pennsylvania, where apparently he's at, is reporting from there. And they said that the Comcast was down, and I guess it's down across the East Coast. I don't know. I'm looking into that too, but I haven't seen anything. I don't know. Hold on, Alpha. We coming to get you. But yeah, so it's. But apparently there was an attempt, and I don't know. I'm assuming that it eventually will make the news, but it just happened. I don't know. It's 1:00 in the morning. What the hell would he be doing out though? So I guess.
So random.
Huh?
Sorry, can I ask the question really?
Okay, she even said Pennsylvania. No one even knows if he was in Pennsylvania on Monday or Tuesday. That's Monday night, Tuesday morning, a.m., 1:00 on Tuesday.
Right. Thank you again, Falu. That is so wild. That is absolutely wild, guys. I'm baffled. It's amazing. I wonder if Maze remembers that. Alpha Warrior had stepped away at that time, though, so he may not recall, unfortunately. but I tagged him in that, so hopefully he sees it here soon, and we could hear from them. Beck says this is getting weird. It is getting weird. Very weird. I'm trying to share this out real quick. Very weird. All right. Let me send that out to a few people here. Heather, Lolo, if you guys are listening, try to get that out and see if we could get some eyes on it and some opinions and thoughts of what's going on. I appreciate it. Very interesting, to say the least. All right. Do we have any more breaking news here? Let's take a quick look. There's an inside joke that Alpha is the Fed boy in Badlands. Yeah, he's from Badlands Media. I think he's a good guy. Of course, there's a lot of people talk crap on the internet, don't they? I mean, don't tell me what they say about me, please. I don't want to hear it. I've only heard really great things, fantastic things. Again, testing course. I apologize for that brief interruption. Punlo Picasso, if you could figure out whose voice that was, or any of you, I'd appreciate it, so we could figure out who the heck that is, because I want to hit them up and be like, so who said that on Clubhouse, right? Who on Clubhouse told you that Trump got assassinated a few days in Pennsylvania before they attempted to assassinate him in Pennsylvania? That is one hell of a coincidence. One hell of a coincidence. Wow. Clubhouse, by the way, is an app where they have chat rooms similar to like the X Spaces, where people get together and they have audio conversations and they talk politics and religion and all this stuff, and it's very interesting. Oh, thank you, Picasso. Thank you very much. I think they are all good folk, but Vince is the host with the most. Babalu, he is. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. I might have to defect. I don't know what that means. Are you leaving, Punlo? That's okay. If you got to go, you got to go. Thanks for tuning in, though. I appreciate it. It's always good to see you. Let's see what else we got here. I do have more on the table, but I want to see if there's anything breaking before we go to what kind of happened earlier in the day. So let's take a quick look here. Okay, real quick. Okay. There was one person on X this morning that says they were walking around in San Francisco. They wrote, quote, "People just casually walking around San Francisco with Trump hats. Something has changed." And that was posted this morning. I guess everybody is feeling patriotic and supportive of Trump. And it's kind of cool to see. Punlo says, "I wish Vince wasn't based in the West Coast." You know, that's not going to matter here soon once Trump's president again and things get straightened out. You know, from coast to coast, hopefully everything's a little bit straightened out and proper across the board. By the way, you guys, if you missed it earlier, Biden did hold a pre-recorded speech, or pre-recorded, not a press conference, address to the nation, where he just condemned the violence. He said the investigation's ongoing with the FBI and also an independent investigation by his people. And also he called the ballot boxes battle boxes twice, which is just not surprising. Not surprising at all, huh? So that's what happened with that. There wasn't much to it other than that. All right. Let's jump back to these notes. See, today's cover of the New York Post. If you guys haven't seen it, this is what it was. This was published early this morning, and it's just kind of cool. I wanted to share it. The New York Post. Here we go. New York Post, Sunday, July 14th, 2024. Bloodied but unbowed. Ex-president survives assassination bid. Trump shot. With this iconic picture of Donald Trump surrounded by Secret Service with the American flag waving in the background. Pretty remarkable, you guys. This is history in the making. There have been several presidents who have had attempts on their lives, and of course, presidents who have been shot in history. I saw people online on X. They're like, same playbook, different day. This kind of thing. All right, let's see. Dramatic video of the moment America almost lost President Trump. I think this is from a different perspective of the video that they've been playing on repeat on the legacy media. This is from another angle posted by Yashar Ali on X. Let's take a quick look at this. Just a different perspective after the shots began here. I think this is where Trump goes like this. There he is. Wow. Wow. Let's watch that one more time. It's a different angle. I haven't really watched this video, so I'm interested in seeing this. It looks like Washington Post published it originally. I can't believe they're letting him stand up like that, though. Isn't that pretty wild? Yeah. It's surprising that they're allowing Trump to stand taller than everybody, and yeah, listen to that crowd. Indeed, Babalu. I don't know. I've heard people say that as well, that they think that was irresponsible at the time with how it unfolded, that they allowed Trump to stand so tall, and if there were multiple aggressors, that it was a dangerous situation. They didn't know if there was more to come or what, so it concerned people that it unfolded that way. Not everybody, though. I'm just saying, some people I talked to, there's varying opinions. Other people said they did, they couldn't have done better considering the circumstances. Cookie, thanks for the easy vibes. My pleasure. Thank you for tuning in over there on Rumble. If y'all are new, please give me a subscribe and a like, and tune in again. We're going to keep this going for a little bit longer, though. There's more I want to talk about. Chuck says Carl Jung discussed this. Chuck says using shadow projecting, the MSM can demonize Trump because he's an alpha male, and anyone that's been bullied can be manipulated into projecting their pain onto him. It's kind of a projection, kind of a psychological perspective on what's going on, Chuck. Interesting. Thank you. And thanks for retweeting that post on X. It looks like it's getting out there. I don't think Mays has addressed it, though. The prediction 4 days before Trump's assassination attempt that was we played a few minutes ago. Very interesting. Thank you, Falu, again. Looks like Ponlo Picasso agrees with the sentiment of some other people, saying, if that's the best we have, we need to hire an elite foreign mercenary squad to protect him. The Secret Service fell short and failed the American people. Actually, I think I have something here from Flynn, General Michael Flynn. Oh wow, I didn't put it in my notes here. Let me pull it up, because General Michael Flynn came out with several things in the last 24 hours that I found interesting. I remember what one of them was. He basically said that he thinks that Trump should have enhanced security paid for by the paid for by U.S. tax dollars. And I thought it was an interesting take. So, and he also mentioned the Eric Prince stuff. Oh, we're going to have to go through some of Flynn's posts here, but I want to go back first to this security one from, I think, 16 hours ago. So this was in the middle of the night last night. This is General Michael Flynn. Donald Trump may require exceptional private security until he returns to the Oval Office and can reform the Secret Service. The USG should pay, meaning U.S. taxpayers, for his chosen security detail capabilities until he returns to the White House. Trusting the leadership of a Secret Service that has lost its way presents significant risks to our future president. Hashtag MAGA. So that was from General Michael Flynn. He's saying that U.S. tax dollars should go to enhance security for Trump. What do you guys think? Would you rather have tax dollars go to security for Donald Trump, or would you rather have tax dollars go to something else like, foreign wars or the Ukraine war or, other things? I don't have a problem with it. I'll be honest with you. I think it'd be fine. I think the security should be increased for everybody across the board. I think security should be increased. You know what? Even for RFK, like him or not, why aren't they allowing him to have security? That is so weird. And they've tried to take away security from Trump too. My dad was on here earlier, and he was saying that he has the smallest security detail in history of any president. I'm not sure if that's 100% true. I haven't heard that, but I wouldn't be surprised. Has anybody else heard that? Let's increase that. Let's do better. And even with Trump's additional security, we still had this breach yesterday where Trump narrowly escaped a very tragic fate. Such a scary day yesterday. Hi, Black Jester. Glad you're okay, dude. Hope to hear from you. Congrats on the move, Forrest. Okay. Let's see. Do we have an update on this? No. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Let's see. Back to General Flynn. He's very disappointed in the mainstream media with how they started reporting on this yesterday. Here are just some of the headlines. Quote, USA Today said at 6:31 p.m. Eastern Time, July 13th, yesterday, Trump removed from stage by Secret Service after loud noises startles former President Trump and the crowd. Another headline from NBC News, Secret Service rushes Trump off stage after popping noises heard at the Pennsylvania rally. Right. And then here's another one. Trump injured in incident at rally. Very non-specific from CNN there. And this one from the LA Times, Los Angeles Times, quote, Trump whisked off stage in Pennsylvania after loud noises rang through the crowd. Michael Flynn. General Mike Flynn, just not amused. He actually said, F all of you. This is very serious. Report the facts or shut up. I'm paraphrasing here, but Mike Flynn is not kidding right now. Ooh, Mike Flynn is very fired up. People say that it was an act of God that saved Donald Trump's life, because it was remarkably close, terrifyingly close to being a horribly worst day yesterday. People say nothing but divine intervention could be whatever. Anyway, you guys know what I'm trying to say. I want to see what General Mike Flynn said about Eric Prince, because I had not dug into this yet. A must read below from Eric Prince. General Mike Flynn says, quote, what happened yesterday is a result of many things. Malice and incompetence are only two, but the problems run far deeper than the Secret Service. DEI and social emotional learning, critical race theory, and the assault on masculinity in the ranks has combined to weaken our warrior mindset in the agency and departments where they are required. These must end, and we must return to a merit-based system across the board where high standards are the norm. Hashtag MAGA. Eric D. Prince. Ooh, all right. Let's see what Eric D. Prince says. He posted some pictures from a SEAL sniper instructor at Red Sky LLC, kind of doing an aerial analysis of this crime scene, where Trump was at the Pennsylvania rally. So Eric D. Prince at Real Eric D. Prince on X, at Real Eric with a K, D. Prince, says this, quote, hopefully after the tragedy yesterday in Butler, Pennsylvania, we can all recognize that unaccountable, bloated bureaucracies continue to fail us as Americans. This is Eric D. Prince again. Quote, Donald J. Trump is alive today solely due to a bad wind estimate by an evil would-be assassin. As the graphics show, the full value wind of just 5 miles per hour was enough to displace the unconfirmed but likely light 55 grain bullet 2 inches from Donald J. Trump's intended forehead to his ear. Donald J. Trump was not saved by USSS brilliance. The fact that U.S. Secret Service, allowed a rifle-armed shooter within 150 yards to a pre-planned event is either malice or massive incompetence. Clearly, there was adequate uncontrolled dead space for a shooter to move into position and take multiple aimed shots. Watching the newsreel, one can hear how proximate the shooter is by the very short time lapse between the crack of the arriving bullet, supersonic, to the boom of muzzle blast, sonic. And this is, from my understanding, correct. I asked on X last night, has anybody done an in-depth analysis on the audio of the firearm from the assassination attempt on Trump? And somebody sent me an analysis where they could determine how far the shooter was from Trump based on the video being taken near Trump and the speed or the delay in the sounds. They could tell how far the shot was taken from. And that is what he's talking about. Eric Prince continues here saying, quote, the law enforcement sniper, unclear if U.S. Secret Service in newsreels, was clearly overwhelmed as his face came off his rifle instead of doing his job to take care of the shooter. Clearly, they were watching the shooter, but apparently have a no first shot policy. The only positive action was an apparent 488-yard shot by one USSS sniper, which dispatched the assassin, but after the assassin launched at least 5 rounds, wounding Donald J. Trump and killing and severely injuring others in the crowd. I am paraphrasing here because there's a couple typos. So the full post is on X at Real Eric D. Prince, Eric with a K. He says, quote, in my old business of providing diplomatic security in 2 active war zones, we were expected to execute the basics or we would be fired. Clearly, USSS failed at the basics of a secure perimeter, and once shots were fired, their extraction was clumsy and left Donald J. Trump highly exposed to follow-on attacks. It looks like they had never drilled together because those responses should be effectively autonomic. Will there be accountability? That's not the Washington way. Unserious and unworthy people in positions of authority got us to this near disaster. Merit and execution must be the only deciding factors in hiring and leadership, not the social engineering priority of the day. Sadly, nothing in Washington reflects that any longer. Donald J. Trump is right to question the competence of those protecting him because yesterday they failed in almost every way. Nature abhors a vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum, and there are always other options. Abhors. I'm sorry. I'm like Joe Biden moment. What does that mean? Pardon me, guys. I'm just going to look this up real quick. It's a little embarrassing. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a genius right now, though. What is abhors? ABHORS. Regard with disgust and hatred. I think he might nature abhors a vacuum, and there are always other options. I'm not sure if that's like an autocorrect or what, but anyway, onward. Eric Prince continues here, quote, most importantly, as Americans, let's come together and run a proper, valid election so we can get back to what matters, a merit-based society that judges on character and skill, nothing else. Images from a SEAL sniper instructor at Red Sky LLC. Here we have sort of a red path in red here that comes around this corner, and it shows it looks like what they're trying to indicate here is this red dot where the alleged shooter was laying, and it shows this red line as a potential path at which somebody could potentially get onto this roof. There were other theories out there, but this is just one. And there's that water tower I mentioned in the background. I mean, that would be a very simple place if there looks like there's maybe stairs. I don't know. That would be a very good place to maybe put some security. Anyway, onward. Here's Butler, Pennsylvania, an aerial view of the location. Trump rally being circled here in the middle. It shows the location of Trump in red with this star, very small here in the center. And you can see this this orange line is 135 meters long, about 400 feet. And this is the building that the shooter was on top of. And 5 mile per hour westerly wind, perpendicular to the shooter's orange line here. Very interesting. This is a good aerial view. I had not seen this highlighted. I haven't seen this perspective of the aerial layout. Interesting. Let's go on here. This is just another, so on the left here, hold on, you can't really tell. Let me change the view. On the left side here, the orange dot represents the building where the shooter was laying, and he fired in this direction, and Trump was in this general area here. So just for some perspective, the pitch on this roof is very slight, but it is not flat. There is a pitch. So he's behind the ridge, so potentially could be skewed. There's also some trees and things. So depending on where you're standing, he was not visible. Although that is debatable. I'm not going to say I know that for a fact, but based on using logic, I think that is pretty close to true. I don't know if he stood up or anything like that, but we're going to have to just wait for the investigation to come out with all the facts. Polo Picasso said Trump had a vest on. I've heard that Trump always wears a bulletproof vest. I don't know if he's confirmed that or not, but that is the rumor. It may be very well true. There was also rumors going on yesterday that Trump had been shot in the body. I'm speculative on that, first of all, because when Trump came out on Truth Social and told us that he had gotten shot in the ear, he didn't say that he'd been shot in the torso, and thank goodness I was wearing a bulletproof vest, right? I think that Trump would be pretty transparent with that if that was the case. I've seen the picture, Ponlo, and to me it looks like just a bend in the fabric with a little shadow. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my opinion on that. I haven't had any much feedback on that video. Rec says that could be faked. I don't think so. I talked to Falou this afternoon on the video of somebody predicting the shooting 4 days before it happened. Somebody went on Maze Loves Space with Alpha Warrior and said, hey, I just came from Clubhouse. I heard that Trump got shot in Pennsylvania. By the way, this was a few days before Trump got shot in Pennsylvania yesterday. I talked to Mike about it this afternoon, and he says, dude, I need to find this because I remember a few days ago, I was in Maze's space with Alpha Warrior, and somebody came in talking about they think Trump got shot, and I really want to go back and grab it. And he was able to scrub it and find it within the last few hours, and I shared that on X. So I don't think this is fake, Randy. If you're listening, I'll respond to him later. I believe that to be real. It's it's the space that's recorded and posted on X and then recorded with a phone. That would be kind of hard to fake. I think it's real. Pretty like very certain it's most likely real. Like I'm like 99.9% confident in that. 99.999%. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Punlo. Onward. Let's see. Trump said the doctor that saw him said that he was very, very, very close to the worst case scenario. According to Polymarket, former President Donald J. Trump's odds to win swing states, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Michigan, and Arizona, reach a new high. So yeah, the support for Trump has absolutely skyrocketed. And in the swing states I just mentioned, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Arizona. Babalu says it does look like a bullet hole. Okay, I'll pull it up and get your thoughts. Here's MV. Hi, Falou. Is that you in the video? Wow, I did not recall which space it happened in. You found it. Hearing it again sounds so surreal. Whoa, this is real. So this is confirmation. Let's see how can I share this image. I don't know how to share that image, Picasso. I guess I'm gonna have to take a second and find it and get your opinion in case you guys haven't seen this. Let's check. Like I said, I don't think Trump was hit in the body. Glenn Beck posted this actually. So what's happening here? Glenn Beck posted this. I'm kind of surprised. Sorry, I had a little bit of mishap right there. Glenn Beck says, has anyone read about the second hit on Donald Trump? If you look at this photo, you can see what appears to be a round hole in his chest. A bulletproof vest would explain the lack of blood. The U.S. Secret Service needs to provide answers on many things. There is no excuse for the first shot, let alone multiple. And if the president was actually hit twice, this is even more of a failure than we thought. Here's the picture in question. It's a little grainy, but look, to me, it's very clear. If you follow my cursor, this is the hole they're talking about, by the way, this dark black spot. There's an agent in front of him, okay? So right here looks like the arm. Here's an arm, crease in the jacket. This is a fold in the jacket on the shoulder. Arm to the fold in the shoulder, and then the shoulder. I think that's what it is. So this is just another person in front of him, shielding him, sort of like if you were behind me, like this. And there's a fold right here, creating a shadow. That is, the outline of this is like this. This person's outline is like this in front of Trump. I don't think that was a shot. I don't think so. That's just my opinion. And I think Trump would be transparent with that. There's no reason for Trump not to say, hey, I was wearing Kevlar under my suit and very thin plates of some kind or whatever. And that's just my opinion. Who knows? People are asking for the original source for that space, Falou. If you're there, or anybody else, if you could post that, I'd appreciate it. To Air Marshal Pepe Clifton. I don't have the direct link for it right now, but it was the space, I believe, from the 9th, if you want to go back on Maze's timeline and pull it up on the 9th. And also you could just search the name of the space, which is in the video. Ponlo Picasso says, oh, think maybe that isn't a hole? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people were posting it, and I think it's fine to look at these things because, let's be honest, no one really knows because this investigation's ongoing. There's a lot. It's just very dynamic as things unfold, and there's a lot of information. And to me, it doesn't hurt to look at it. I like to see it all. So anything you guys have, I'll take a look at. I try to be pretty reasonable with what is true and what's not. I'll tell you if I think something's fake, unconfirmed, confirmed, or how likely I think it's real or not. That's just how I like to do things. very strange stuff, you guys. We live in such interesting times. What else have we got going on? Trump has landed in Milwaukee a few hours ago. He's ready for the Republican convention. Less than 24 hours after the president survived the assassination attempt, which is just remarkable. Like I said, he was golfing this morning too. Wow. And did he was Trump at the UFC last night after this too? After he left the hospital, did Trump go to the UFC? That was the rumor. I don't know if it actually happened, but Trump did not stop. He got shot. He went to the hospital. He was out of there and on his plane and traveling. It didn't change his schedule by 1 minute. Pretty crazy. Oh yeah, there's a GoFundMe campaign that is currently active for the victims of yesterday's shooting by the horrible, I'm not even going to say his name, by the guy who shot Trump and killed one other and injured two, almost critically, but they are okay now. It's reported that they're not in critical condition anymore. The two that were reported in grave danger, they're okay. But there was one person who passed, other than the shooter. Anyway. Fuck. Damn, connect. Testing. Am I back? Sorry for the interruption, folks. Sorry for the interruption. Testing. I apologize for the interruption. As I was saying, Trump sent his condolences to Corey Comparator. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing his name. He is the victim of the shooting yesterday at Trump's rally. There's a GoFundMe campaign for him, and it's reached over $2 million. Actually, it's reached over $3 million. An hour ago, it was at $3,088,000 they've raised. Wow. So just some remarkable unity for the victims of this shooting here. Wow. $3 million. It's really remarkable. That's the GoFundMe. So pretty cool stuff. It's nice to see good, positive things happening. And it's very tragic, though. Don't get me wrong. I want to see what it is in real time, though, real quick, the GoFundMe. See if I can pull up the campaign here. I had the link earlier. I don't have the direct link anymore. I don't think I do. Doesn't look like I do. Let's see. Here we are. I think I found it. GoFundMe. Yeah. Wow. Here it is. Look at that. It is currently sitting at 3.3 million. It had a $1 million goal. There have been almost 45,000 donations. Support for Butler, Pennsylvania victims, President Trump authorized. It is organized by Meredith O'Rourke. It says President Donald Trump has authorized this account as a place for donations to the supporters and families wounded or killed in today's brutal and horrific assassination attempt. All donations will be directed to these proud Americans as they grieve and recover. May God bless and unite our nation. The Heritage Foundation donated $50,000. It's one of the top donations. That is the top donation there. Very interesting and good. $3.3 million raised of $1 million goal. Steve, thank you. I finally found it. You know, sometimes I won't even go there. I'm glad I found it finally. All right. Onward. Let's see what else we got. Secret Service has no plans to beef up security at RNC. Oh my gosh. The Republican National Convention after Trump assassination attempt, they said, quote, "We are confident in plans we have." Why aren't they going to increase security? Like, why? Honestly, come on. New York Post posted this article. Secret Service has no plans to beef up security at RNC. Really? Gosh. Trump is there now. 4-day convention. Here we go. Why? Pardon me. People were talking about the would-be Trump assassin, and allegedly he tried to join a high school shooting club, and he was rejected for being a comically bad shot. Also, there was an interview that I don't have in front of me where somebody that knew the alleged shooter was saying that he was bullied heavily. He said he was really, really, really heavily bullied and blah, 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 which is unfortunate, very unfortunate, but just something that was put out there by the media interview of somebody who knew him. Just to note there, let's be nice to each other. Bullying's never good, but yeah. All right. So I'm gonna digress from the Trump stuff here for a moment. Earlier today, and the Biden stuff, we did watch that live Biden broadcast where we learned nothing, and Biden couldn't even pull off a pre-recorded video calling ballot boxes battle boxes. So let's digress. I did see this. Alex Jones posted on his X account, or I think he has a social media team that's managing his X account, but he said exclusive new Bohemian Grove ritual footage leaked. Alex Jones is famous for his alleged sneaking into Bohemian Grove where occult activities take place from the elite and all this. This is the conspiracy, right? He's famous for sneaking in there a long time ago, years, maybe 20 years ago or something, posting that video. Apparently he's got another video of somebody who snuck in there. So I'll share that. I'll share a little bit of that with you. This is just alleged, guys. I don't know, right? I don't know what goes on there. They say they worship Moloch. They worship some weird gods. This guy's in the bushes kind of filming around one of their events allegedly at Bohemian Grove. I'm kind of scrubbing through it because there's not much to see here, but there is more that he gets a better shot of some stuff later. Let's see, I'm scrubbing through. It looks like they have a lot of, yeah. So here you can see people standing and they're holding torches all along here where my cursor is moving. People standing with torches, wearing robes and some apparent weird thing. Maybe there's an audience over here too, it looks like. It's very strange. Allegedly, this is Bohemian Grove. And here you can see some people down here. You have like stage lighting. This is very strange stuff. People down there. Big. There we go. People walking down an aisle as the lighting changes. More people in robes carrying torches. Very weird. Very strange. This is some kind of ritual. And then later, maybe another day, it looks like in daylight, they're having a luncheon. They're just eating outdoors. Interesting. Yeah, so I just thought it was interesting that Alex Jones posted that today. He's always doing interesting stuff, I'll say that. But, we'll just take that for what it is. Yeah, so people are asking about that clip that Falou shared. Who is speaking if all the mics are muted? Yeah, Sarah Fezio asks that. I don't know if she's listening, but I'm going to reply. Like I told you guys, X glitches out sometimes and you can't tell who's speaking. So that's what's happening there. It happens to me all the time. It happens to everyone. Good night, Ponlo. Take care. Babalu, new member initiation. Yeah, I don't know what they do. What's going on there? Oh, Steve says, I went over to Twitter X for a while, tried to sign up for your account, but I don't. Something. Sorry, Steve. I don't know what to tell you. You can't find me or something. If you were able to create an account, at the bottom of my screen here, that's my name, x.com/readyf4any. And that's how you can find me. And hope to see you over there. I hope you can figure that out. I'm happy to help in any way. If you are able to contact me somehow, my email's available on YouTube and stuff. If you want to contact me, I can help you out. Figure that out. Okay, onward. There was an explosion in Somalia. I do want to take a look at this. I haven't researched this. I've been so focused on this Trump stuff, but apparently there have been casualties after an explosion in Somalia. So let's take a look at that. And then I want to look at kind of other news as well, digressing from the Trump stuff. Unless anything else new comes out, send it my way and I'll switch gears to that again. But let's take a quick look here. Somalia. At least 5 dead, 20 injured after a car bomb detonated outside a cafe filled with people watching the Euro 2024 final in Mogadishu, Somalia. BNO News reported that 3 hours ago. Horrible, maybe an apparent terrorist attack or something. Oh, man. And it looks like the other big news is just President Biden's unremarkable remarks from today, where at least he condemned violence. That's always good, right? I expected nothing less, but there it is. Thank you, Sarah. Posting the original space. Secrets in Skeletons of the Vatican. Rothschild Space by MV, by Maze. Host. Oh, interesting. I thought it was Maze. Uh-oh. I'm playing this audio now. I don't want to hear that. Sorry. All right, let me check this real quick, and we're getting to some other news. Continue on with some other news. Okay. Onward. So I think I'm going to make a compilation video. I have a lot of these clips, which I don't want to play because they're just negative. You may have already seen them if you're on X. It's just all of the rhetoric that people are saying. This is the kind of negative, violent rhetoric that's causing people to be radicalized and attempt to take Trump's life. And it's different, various celebrities, politicians, and presidents and things saying concerning things, as well as media organizations and individuals, just normal people like you and me, just saying crazy stuff. Thinking about putting a extensive compilation together and posting that on X or something. But I don't want to go through all the videos here. It's just, to me, I just don't want to. That's all. I don't want to right now. I'll put that together probably in the next few days. Hey, thank you, Battle Box. Thank you, Steve. Good to see you. I'll make sure to follow you back there. Thank you so much. Checking the comments here. Forrest said that the video of Bohemian Grove, he can't imagine what's going through his mind. I don't know what would happen if he were caught doing something like that. Oof. Black Jester agrees with you too there. I don't know. I don't know what would happen. I'm not too well versed on Bohemian Grove. All right, guys. I'm going to take a quick look here. Just checking the comments. There's so many different chats going on. Thank you, Steve. I got it. Appreciate that. All right, let's jump over to anything breaking. Bear with me. Let's see. I got to get this link here. I have it right here. What a week. Just out of nowhere. It's been, yesterday was shocking. Absolutely shocking and tiring. Let's see. Progressive climate group Sunrise Movement says Joe Biden should pass the torch. It's one thing we've been seeing over the past few days is a lot of people coming out against Joe Biden. There's different theories out there. One of which being that Joe Biden is kind of refusing to step down. It's just a rumor. I don't know what's going on or whatever, but that's just one rumor out there. And a lot of people are calling for him to get out of there. But I don't know. People are saying, what are the options, right? 25th Amendment. They could try to impeach him. If Joe Biden leaves, then Kamala has to run, or Kamala, if Trump, whatever. People are talking about the funding and what happens with that. All this stuff. I mean, it's not looking good for the Democrats, no matter how you cut it. It really isn't. Of course, people said, unless Trump, unfortunately, somehow didn't end up running, which we saw how that might happen yesterday. Thank you, Harley. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Anyway, onward. French government fines TV News $20,000 for allowing a skeptic to speak unchallenged. Wow. Censorship in France. I can't say I'm surprised, to be honest with you. Let's see some other stuff from this evening. Secret Service holds briefing as it investigates Trump rally security after the shooting. This was 3 hours ago. I didn't watch this briefing, but I don't think anything major came out of it. This is from earlier today. There's no bullet points. Maybe I could find... I want to find the summary of this. But from what I understand, no motive, this and that. I did hear a little bit. People are calling for Kim Cheadle to answer on why things occurred the way they did. The U.S. Secret Service. Okay. I don't see a breakdown of it. Secret Service investigating how gunman was able to get so close. Blah, blah, blah. Of course. All right, onward. Yeah, we were really close to, I mean, whatever would have happened if Trump was assassinated. That's one thing I haven't talked much about. What would have happened if Trump was assassinated? Of course, it's all speculation, but people say the economy would have crashed immediately. People like Tim Pool are like Civil War would have unleashed immediately. You know, he's a big Civil War guy. Civil War, not that he calls for it or anything, but he just thinks it's a high potential. It's Tim Pool, which is fine. We can all speculate on things. It's totally fine, but people make fun of him for that. What would have happened? And whatever it is, I don't think it's good, because when I found out that Trump was potentially shot, and it just started unfolding, and I wasn't watching live, I was just contacted and told that. When I heard, though, I was like thinking it's a potential that maybe Trump didn't make it or something, right? And I was kind of thinking, like, if that's the case, now what, right? And my best guess is maybe the dollar would collapse. There would be probably some extent of civil unrest. I don't know if it would be so far as to be civil war or what it would be considered, but I'd imagine some people would be so upset to be extremely uncivil. And who knows what else with China, internationally, with Russia, with Ukraine, with the Middle East, with Africa, with all the other nations in the world. It would have affected the entire world. So we're very fortunate that Trump is alive and well. Amen, Babalu. Babalu said, that's why I pray for Trump's protection. And it looks like on X, people are trying to get to the bottom of what's going on with Falu's video. Falu, your video is beginning to go viral over there, so it's pretty cool. we'll see where it goes. Maybe we could get some answers. Maybe somebody will dig into it a little further. Bill Ackman has said no one will touch replacing Biden now, G-Move says. Yeah, maybe so. They may have to just stick to it. There is the problem with several states, and it's debated heavily. People are like, there are 3 states that cannot change their ballots, except there's another state. A 4th state can change the ballot if Biden, God forbid, passed away somehow or in some unfortunate event. One ballot could be changed, but every state has different laws. There's 3 states that would be unable to change the ballots if Biden, for some reason, didn't end up being the option there. In that regard, they kind of are stuck with Biden. There's also the funding issue and the Kamala issue, in which she's even, I think, more, she's not popular at all. Anybody with half a brain, most people are not too favorable of Kamala. At least that's what it seems like to me. It's, there's some polls, though. There were some polls the other day. Kamala neck and neck with Trump in the polls. And I even saw one. Kamala 2 points ahead of Trump in some kind of poll. I'm like, okay. I don't know about that, guys. I don't know about that. You guys trust these polls? Thank you, Energy, for tuning in. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. Thank you, G. Good to see you. Onward. Let me take a quick look here. Like I said, Trump arrives at the RNC convention in Milwaukee just a few hours ago. He touched down. As we started the stream, he was touching down, which is great. His schedule has not changed, regardless of what he's going through right now. Here's an interesting one, a new article, The End of the American Dream. Sometimes they post, that's the name of this news or this website, endoftheamericandream.com. Sometimes they post some okay stuff, but this is kind of an opinion article. 10 burning questions that every American should be asking about the Trump shooting. Let's see what they say. How did the shooter get so close without being seen by Secret Service? It's number 1. Absolutely. We talked about this. The Secret Service, in any type of preparation and having an event with a former president or a president, they usually make sure that rooftops aren't accessible. The whole area is assessed and protected, and all these things are covered. So that is a question that needs to be answered. And especially, so let's look at number 2. This is from endoftheamericandream.com. Number 2, why weren't security personnel on that roof? Every roof had a direct line of sight to Trump, should have been covered, and a former SWAT commander is saying that what we just witnessed was a fundamental security failure. Yeah, and you know what's funny? I was listening to Fox News yesterday, and a little bit even on live stream. If you tuned in, then you know. If you know, you know, I guess. But they said they had a former Secret Service agent or something being interviewed, and he was just saying how great everything was and all this. It was very strange. I was like, this guy's not on X looking at everything that we know then, because I'm kind of disagreeing with some of the stuff he's saying. And coming from a non-expert, okay, yes, I don't have the experience that he does. He's actually worked for presidents and stuff, but come on. I mean, when you have General Flynn kind of come and play, like saying something else, and Eric Prince kind of saying something else, I don't know. That's why I don't prefer listening to Fox News or any of these, really. It's just, you've got to be diligent. Gateway Pundit reported that a sheriff actually got up on the roof and retreated after the shooter pointed his firearm at him. Sub. Yeah, you're right. I did see that. And that was very weird that they reported that. I did see those reports earlier. That's very concerning. That does not That's not good, because that means they knew he was up there, had an officer on scene climbing up there, and that's how to, if that's true, that's crazy. Gateway Pundit just put this out too a half hour ago. Secret Service resources were diverted to Jill Biden's Saturday campaign event in Pittsburgh and away from Trump's. Many agents assigned to Trump were temporary replacements. Whoa. That's an interesting report from the Gateway Pundit. Let's see what they say here. From Crabtree. So who's this? Two soldiers. Now, Susan Crabtree of Real Clear Politics has revealed more infuriating details about that fateful day. It turns out the Secret Service decided to shift critical resources to guard Jill Biden's campaign event in Pittsburgh and away from the 45th president's rally. Both were held on Saturday. Two sources told her this was because they were following the agency's protocol of treating Trump as a former president. This is despite the fact this former president is the front. Why did they say that? Former president. Okay. This is despite the fact that this quote-unquote former president is the front runner to become the next president of the United States and has the largest political following in the country. She also poses a critical question. Who decided to divert these resources to Dr. Jill's paltry event? Ooh, very odd. That I did not know that. That's kind of new information there. A new perspective, a new allegation, if you will. Let's go back here. 10 burning questions everybody should ask. Number 3. Why didn't authorities respond when they were warned about a man with a gun? Yes, you had several eyewitnesses pointing this out prior to the shooting. It's very concerning. You have one from BBC and then 1 or 2 other ones that have been interviewed. Multiple videos coming out as well in real of people filming it. We watched those earlier, filming the man crawling on the roof and people shouting to the police. So that is a great question. Number 4, according to testimony from another eyewitness, the shooter actually had time to move from roof to roof before he started shooting at Trump. If people in the crowd could see this movement, why couldn't Secret Service? And we don't know if they could or couldn't or what exactly happened, but it's valid question. Why did it take so long for the Secret Service to get to Trump once the shooting started? There should always be an agent just a couple steps from Trump at all times, but somehow Thomas Matthew Crooks was able to get off at least 8 shots at Trump. And this is the thing about these different sources of information, right? 8 shots. Earlier we heard 5 to 7 shots. We heard 1 shot and then return fire. Like, there's so many things that are up in the air with the details of this. We really just have to wait. So take it with a grain of salt. Number 6. Why was security so much better at previous Trump rallies? One man that was there when Trump was shot said that there was a noticeable difference between security at this rally and security at previous rallies he's been to. It's just okay. Number 7, U.S. Representative Mike Waltz claims that Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas turned down requests for better Secret Service protection for Trump on multiple occasions. Why did he do this? This is, I think, an unconfirmed report that I've heard many times that Trump has requested more protection and that it's been denied. This allegation was denied by the FBI last night during their press conference. Of course, when I tell people that, they say, Vince, you trust the FBI? And to that, I say, I don't know. I can neither confirm nor deny that. But the FBI in their press conference last night denied that additional protection was declined for Donald Trump. I'll just say that. But I don't know if that's the case or not. It is definitely one of the prevailing theories on the internet. And like this says, Mike Waltz claims that Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas turned down the request. So maybe he knows something everyone else doesn't know. I don't know. Number 8. Did inflammatory rhetoric inspire the shooter to do what he did? And that is a very light way of saying, like, was this guy brainwashed, or was this guy under mind control or hypnotized, or a victim of MK Ultra, which is a lot of what these crazy, kooky conspiracy theorists say, right? Anyway, yeah, I think it's a valid question. Does this inflammatory rhetoric influence people to be violent? And if it does, what are we going to do? And then it becomes a First Amendment issue too, right? Definitely a First Amendment issue if that's the case, which I think there's a potential it is the case. I don't know. Onward. Timing. If Trump had been successfully assassinated before the convention, he would not be the Republican nominee. So who would have come out of the convention as the replacement nominee? I'll tell you who I think it may have been. And this comes from Miles. I give you credit, Miles, because you said this yesterday, and I was like, I like that. Who is the best, right? Hypothetically, this is a hypothetical here. If Trump was killed, fortunately, he wasn't, and he won't be. But who would have been the Republican nominee had that horrible attack been successful? I think the best option. I don't know if this would be what would happen, but the best option. I don't know. Obviously, nobody knows. Maybe there's some kind of plan, a contingency, just in case. But who the heck knows? This is speculation, hypotheticals. Okay. General Michael Flynn. He's the only one that I would be like, okay, the world's not over yet, right? He could maybe straighten things out. Other than that, I have a hard time coming up with any other ideas. Do you guys have any? I don't know. Please don't tell me Ron DeSantis or like. My connection's gone. Testing. Testing. Sorry for the interruption. Back. I don't know where I got cut off. I was saying hypotheticals on who would replace Trump if he wasn't nominated here. Anyway, speculations. General Michael Flynn is my choice in the hypothetical. Some of you might think Ron DeSantis or Vivek Ramaswamy or whatever the heck his name is. I always pronounce it wrong and I get a lot of hate. Don't hate Vivek Ramaswamy. Maybe some of you like him. But I would hope it would be General Michael Flynn. I don't see any other good options, to be honest. And politics really stinks. I don't think there's any good options in any of this stuff, to be honest with you. I do like Trump, but other than that, I think it's just horrible. Anyway, how will this shooting affect the general election? They ask on this End of the American Dream article. When Ronald Reagan was shot, his poll numbers went up dramatically. We saw the same thing happen already. Will the same thing happen to Trump? Yes. We already saw right when this happened. The Las Vegas betting odds for Trump winning went up, skyrocketed. Swing states are already showing an increased support for Trump. We talked about that earlier. So yeah, the whole country might just vote for Trump. And that's what happened with Reagan. Right? Mallorca denied RFK protection too. You are right. Yes, he did. Why? Huh? You got to ask yourself why. Horrible. It's just very unreasonable to me. Typically, I think the top few candidates have protection, right? Somebody told me yesterday that there's a shortage of resources and high turnover rate and all this kind of stuff as well. I don't know if that's true or not, but maybe that contributes to this situation we see. Either way, it's not good. I'm going to head over to Trump's Truth Social account, see if he's posted any updates for us this evening. Steve says it's a lost generation. 7 hours ago, Trump took to Truth to write, "Unite America," in all caps. And then that was his latest message. But this afternoon, or this morning. He said, based on yesterday's terrible events, I was going to delay my trip to Wisconsin and the Republican National Convention by 2 days, but have just decided that I cannot allow a shooter or potential assassin to force change to scheduling or anything else. Therefore, I will be leaving for Milwaukee as scheduled at 3:30 p.m. today. Thank you, Donald J. Trump. So that's where we're at with the latest from Trump. I'm sure we're going to hear more tomorrow and onward. Guaranteed. Real quick recap. Well, let me check this message. Never mind. Let's go back. Joe Biden, my gosh. Joe Biden said what? Battle box? We should look at some battle box memes and then call it a night. Here's, again, if you guys missed it, you're tuning in later. This is basically the blunder from tonight. One of the blunders. He stumbled a little bit in his pre-recorded message. I'm talking about President Biden here. Let's take a quick listen and then we'll find some memes. People have had a lot of time to bake up some memes.
But in America, we resolve our differences at the battle box. That's how we do it, at the battle box, not with bullets. But in America, we resolve our differences at the battle box. That's how we do it, at the battle box.
Yeah, at least he's encouraging peace, right? I'm trying to find the silver lining here. Let's see. If I type in battle box, we should get memes, right? Steve, I like Ben Carson. I have had a chance to listen to him speak in a small auditorium. He's a very good man. No, okay. I've heard that. I support this battle box idea instead of voting. And they posted what are these things called? Some toy. I forget the name of this toy. The battle box. I have to find these darn memers. This November, coming to pay-per-view, President Palooka Joe Biden faces off against Donald T. Money Trump in the rematch of the century. 2 men will enter the battle box, but only one will leave. And they made this. I don't know if this is an AI-generated cartoon art or what. It's just Joe Biden and Trump as like gladiators in a boxing ring. Pretty cool. Rock'em Sock'em Robots. That's what it is, Babalu. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. Rock'em Sock'em Robots. My brother and I had him in 1976. There you go. All right. Trying to remember the name. Oh, what's that? Trying to think of the memer accounts here. Nope, they're not doing it yet. It's the weekend. It's the weekend. Why isn't Joe wearing a wedding ring? That's funny. Pretty funny there. All right. Well, maybe we'll get more battle box memes later. Maybe the concept just isn't there for some good memes. In America, we resolve our differences at the battle box. Oh, here we go. Tim Young. Tim Young made this one, or at least posted it. I don't know who made it.
And in America, we resolve our differences at the battle box. That's how we do it, at the battle box.
Oh, that's at Tim Runs His Mouth on somewhere. At Tim Runs His Mouth. I don't know if that's on X or on TikTok or what. Probably X. Anyway. No credit given. Come on, Tim. Give credit where credit's due. Yeah, I'm sure he's a good guy. This guy called Prison Mitch put out this meme. Me and the boys headed to the battle box on November 5th. That's pretty funny. It's Anchorman, Will Ferrell, and the crew. It's a joke. It's a joke. Hey, Joe Biden said it, not me. See you at the battle box. He meant to say ballot box. Anyway, I'm gonna call it a night. It's still early. I'm on the West Coast, 7:15 p.m. But hey, I'm gonna go on X after I have dinner, so I'll be about a half hour. I just need to cook something up real quick, eat. I'm gonna go on X. I don't know who's hosting a space, but follow me, and I will post whatever space I jump into in about an hour. If you want to talk about what we're talking about here, what happened today, what you think is going to happen tomorrow and the day after that, and this election season and the potential paths that are ahead of us, who knows, right? We're going to talk about all that on X. So join me in whatever space I join or the space that I host tonight. Come talk with me, share your ideas. You can agree with me or disagree with me or whatever, and we'll just talk. It'll be good times. Thank you for everyone who supports me in these live streams and whatnot. Thank you, Babalu, Steve, and others for tuning in. All y'all. I really do appreciate all of you. Left Maryland, G Move, Harley, Beck, etc. Forrest, Black Jester, all of you guys. And if I missed you, it's nothing personal. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be live again soon, so turn on your notifications, subscribe. X, YouTube, Rumble, DLive, all the places. I appreciate it. Thank you all very much. With that said, take care, God bless, and God speed.